Hey writers, today we're going to be talking about dialogue. Dialogue is when a character in a story is talking. So you are going to hear exactly what they said if you were there. So as I read this story, I want you to listen for the dialogue. You will notice that the dialogue has quotation marks around it. So those are those two little marks that kind of look like commas, but they're above, and they're around what the character is actually saying. Okay, so I want you to listen as I read this story, The Happiest Place on Earth, for the dialogue. I can't believe we are actually here, I exclaimed. The feeling of butterflies in my tummy had not stopped since we got out of our car in the parking lot and began walking towards the happiest place on earth. I felt the excitement rise inside me from the bottom of the feet to the top of my head. My family was next in line to hand our tickets to the smiling man in the bright blue and red uniform. Welcome to Disneyland. You are now entering the happiest place on earth, the ticket holder exclaimed. I looked at my sister, and she was wearing a grin from ear to ear. As we walked through the turnstile, I stopped to take in my surroundings. There was beautiful flowers carefully planted throughout the entrance. My eyes got wider as I saw thousands of flowers working together to make a giant Mickey Mouse head. I observed as families upon families took their pictures in front of it. Let's go, bud, my dad called out to me as my family walked in front of me. I hurried to catch up with my family. The giant green iron gates stood open, inviting us in. There were so many things to see. I watched as kids ran up to little white and red carts that were selling colorful Mickey heads shaped balloons. Also, there was a little red and black trolley cart selling gigantic corn dogs. The aroma of buttery popcorn waved under my nose. Next, I saw Goofy and Pluto waving to us as I slowly walked, taking it all in. There were rows of shops that lined the streets selling toys, candy apples, and stuffed animals from every Disney movie. Suddenly, my eyes saw the most enormous blue, white, and gold castle. It was the castle from Sleeping Beauty. Well, kiddos, where should we go first? Questioned Mom. I glanced at my sister. Her mouth hung open, her eyes as wide open as mine, in wonder. Finally, her eyes met mine and her arms were raised in a shrug. I closed my eyes and pointed blindly to a spot on the map in her hands. I opened them to see where my finger landed. We all exchanged looks and nodded in agreement, with big smiles all around. Lead the way, kiddos, Dad hollered. My sister and I were off before he finished his sentence. We had never been so excited to explore such an incredible place. Okay, so throughout the story, there is lots of dialogue. So, our first sentence in the story, I can't believe we are actually here, I exclaimed. Okay, so she is actually talking. I can't believe we're actually here. She actually said that out loud. Okay, and then as we scroll down, welcome to Disneyland. You are now entering the happiest place on earth. You will see that there are quotation marks around what the ticket holder actually said. Okay, one more example. Right down here it says, "Let's go, bud." My dad called out to me as my family walked on in front of me. Okay, so the dad said, "Let's go, bud," to them. I want you to see if you can add some dialogue to your writing. Okay, so to do this, you have to use quotation marks. So you would put the quotation marks before you said something and right after. Okay. For today, do not worry about getting the punctuation right. Just try your best. But I want you to see if you can add some punctuation or some dialogue to your writing. So, what somebody actually said. If you don't have room in your writing, you can just add it to the bottom and draw an arrow, and we will know that you need to add it up to a different spot. Okay. Have a good day.